comments the housing complex Ahalina 3. El-Sisi inspects the rate of achievements in the projects of developing roads and utilities in Cairo. He inspected several sites where projects of developing roads network are being implemented in Cairo. The projects included Salah Salem access and the road access which links Cairo Suez Road to the new Cairo. And also he was briefed over the executive state of these projects, and the head of state also gave his directives to establish wider lanes in order to ease the traffic. And with us live over the phone is Dr. Yusef Mazhar. He is former assistant to the Minister of Industry. Good morning, Dr. Mazhar.
Good morning.
How are you doing, sir? How are you doing, sir? We are talking about the president giving his directives immediately to commence one of the most successful mega projects that is implemented currently in Egypt, the housing complex Ahalina 3. If you like to elaborate over that mega project.
Yes, of course. Well, I think you touched more on the highways and roads and the connections.
Of
so
course.
Let me comment on that first.
Let's comment over the highways.
Why do we go into making highways? One is easing off the traffic in the metropolis, Cairo. That's one reason. But the more important reason is connecting the rest of Egypt together. You want to connect the ports of the Red Sea. You want to connect the ports of Alexandria. You want to connect Marsa Matruh. So this is also on the, let's say, the import and export side, but also for the new city, the new administrative city. It's very important that because of the grandiose project, which is very, very large and extends over a very large area, taking a lot of the population and the ministries and the decision makers and the mosques and the churches, you have to connect this well to the other places, because now people are going to move from Cairo to this new metropolis, the new administrative city. So you need to have a very good and fast connection. Now this fast connection, according to our president, is also insisting on the number of lanes. Lanes, let's say there are lanes going, lanes coming, and he's also, if you listen to the instructions or the discussions on the site itself, where the president is talking to the laborers and workers and engineers, I want so many lanes, because that is the secret of quick connections. So that is an introduction. The other part of the introduction is that not only to the administrative city, also around Cairo, and that is something which is also evident in Austria and many of the countries of Europe. You have to have a ring road. And we had a ring road, but it got congested. So we have a ring road, and we have a greater ring road. These are also parts of these projects.
Right. Of course, you focused over the lanes, and the lanes come according to the international standards of infrastructural and projects, and also the roads in general. How important is the lanes according to safety, according to expanding the space while commuting, and also its effect over the economically speaking, the transmission or the transportation of, on the roads in general, not in a specific state. How important is it?
Yes, well, you see, of course, let me just mention very quickly, Germany after the First World War went into a massive highway project, the Autobahn, and that was very, very important for labor and also connections. America is the story of the West, crossing into the West, and many other countries. So they were doing nothing new. It's a very good way of, first of all, connecting very well everything, let's say, transport of exports, transport of imports, a movement from one part of the country to another. And the third thing is also connecting all the areas. Egypt is about 7% inhabited, fully inhabited. but there's a lot still open. And very soon you will see that these highways will move into the areas to link to the New Valley, link to the Red Sea, link to many other places, because we want to increase also this so-called 7% into a higher figure. So this is also a very important thing. And don't forget, you are providing work for contractors, you are providing work for laborers, full work. And this is a very good way of employment, and we need employment all the time with our growing population. So you see that even from the few minutes that we see on TV of the president talking to the engineers, you can see the demand for more lanes, the demand for widening of the roads, the movement of obstructions, if there are any, under any cost. So I think we've got a very big highway and road project, mega project, and it will be ranked along those which we have heard of historically all over the world.
Right. Dr. Yusef Mazhar, former Assistant Minister of Industry, would like to thank you so much, sir, talking to the Press Digest. And we move on to Al-Akhbar Al-Yawm from page 2. We read more local news. The governorate's